Like, get those sausage fingers away from me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the shit.
Leave it in.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the HeadKanon podcast. If you're new here, then we have a fresh and hot new episode for you every Tuesday on YouTube and anywhere else you get your podcast. You can also keep up to date with the show on Instagram. Keep up to date with the show.
Up to date.
Oh, Jesus. You let me write this? You can
I copy pasted it from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't let me write things, dude. You know I'm dyslexic.
You can keep up to date with the show on Instagram, Twitter, Discord. Links are below. I'm Bryan. That's Crockett.
What's up?
And that's Stay.
Yeah.
Look at this shirt. Look how hard this shirt is, dude. I love this shirt.
Look how hard the shirt
I put
is.
Tay on the neighborhood, dude.
He did. Never.
Is that a musical album? Like
Yeah, it's their album.
I need to get a
Wipeout.
Hybrid Theory shirt too. That's been on my list. Too.
That'd be a good album, dude.
Oh yeah. So today we're talking about God of War, but before we do any of that, let's do some housekeeping. What have you boys been up to?
Put our little maid outfits on. Like, let's sweep up a little bit here. So I was out of town. That's the whole reason we didn't do a show last week. Yeah, I've been hands been busy. I was out networking at the anime con.
By networking.
That's what I was doing. Dude. I was out there networking.
Had a suit on and suit and tie.
I did have a suit on 2 days in a row, so I was doing some business.
Oh, that's right. You cosplaying as what the fuck is this?
I was doing Dingy, and I did Kokomi from Psycho Pass.
I almost called him Kobani.
Kobani.
Yeah.
There were so many. Chainsaw Man is going.
Too popular.
It's so popular.
It's awesome.
It is Naruto now.
No, it's not.
It's going to. I
Demon
promise
Slayer
you.
level.
No,
Right now.
it's not. It's also not Demon Slayer level.
It's gonna reach.
Stop gatekeeping shit.
I'm not. I do want to gatekeep. I hate
gatekeep.
y'all.
Nah.
Go read the manga. Keep up with part 2.
I understand him to a level.
I understand him to a level too, but it's nowhere near Naruto level.
When the weirdos start getting into it, you're like, damn it.
No, when
you
you
had a good thing going, and you ruined it.
You just see a shirt in a mall of someone wearing it. That's when you know.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Who is that? You think you know the rules?
I'm starting to read the manga now
Uh-huh.
because I finished the anime like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you're about to get to a good part.
I saw a couple of panels. They look fucking fire.
Yeah, baby girl's coming up.
Yeah, Kobani's coming up. Kobani situation.
No, baby girl, dude. Raise it.
Oh,
Raise it, baby girl. Yeah, you'll find out. Baby girl, though.
And then I watched the new Bleach arc.
Ooh,
How's that?
How's that?
Year War. It is
It's really well animated.
fucking phenomenal.
Ooh, that's what I like to hear.
It is amazing. Not only is it extremely well animated, it is like Bleach suffered from filler because anime used to have a shit ton of filler back in the day.
Dude.
They cut all that shit out.
They
Every
used it.
episode is just fucking like important information, cool backstory, amazing action sequences. Like the first time that we see the head captain fight.
The fiery guy?
Yeah.
The bald guy?
Yamato?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yamato.
Oh, yeah. I saw that TikTok where he like smashes the ground and like,
I
splits
thought
and
he
everything.
fought
Yeah.
during the Aizen arc, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He didn't use the Senpakto during the Aizen arc.
That's their...
That's their sword.
Oh, he didn't use the fire?
He didn't use the fire because he's got a really powerful Shikai, and so like he'll just burn shit up if he uses it. So it was kind of like he was angry. He was angry when he came to fight. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Recommend.
The way I had to watch Bleach was I used a guide to skip all the filler.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, watch this episode, and then you skip like 15 episodes. And I'm like, Jesus. And then you watch these 4 episodes, and you skip another 5.
Naruto had like a 6-month filler one time after he fought Pain. I never forget that.
Oh yeah, that
6
pissed me
months
off.
of this fucking filler.
It was awful.
One Piece has the best filler though because it fits with the narrative.
Yeah, One Piece filler is pretty good.
Because it's pirate adventures.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I
One
hate the
Piece-
One Piece filler.
Every
One Piece
One Piece
awesome.
filler that I've seen has been like entertaining.
Yeah.
Like it's still filler, but I'm watching. I'm like, I'm
The
not mad
anime
at
is
it.
immaculate.
When Dragon Ball Super was coming out and there was a filler episode, I just didn't watch it that week. I would have seen it. I would
there
check
wasn't
Oh,
to
no
see.
filler in that show. That's all pure.
Yeah. That's
No,
straight
there
from
was
the manga.
filter or
No.
filter.
It didn't have
filler.
it didn't have a manga adaptation. The manga's completely different.
Yeah, that was all of the dome.
It's
dude.
all totally.
There's some bad
Yeah.
episodes in there then.
Yeah, there were some bad episodes. Anyway, so how was Ichiban?
It was good. I got to meet a lot of people, which is always
Yeah.
a nice thing. I got to go.
Women.
I ate like shit. I my stomach is so messed up right now. That's all I did was just eat garbage.
Eat Hooters, right?
Yeah, I ate
Never been there
Hooters.
before.
Dude, it's bad. The next every morning, the day after a con, or the day after every day of a con, is
Yeah.
just awful.
Yeah.
You just wake up, You got maybe 2 hours of sleep that night. You go shit your guts out, and then you got to put on a costume and go back up. And it was cold too, but I had a lot of fun. Ichiban's like more of like a smaller con.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of just, it makes up for itself for just all the cool people that you can meet and everything.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I know a couple of shout outs like Young Shark, Mel Cosplays, and Cloudy May Cosplay, I think is her Instagram handle. There are people that we met.
Mel wasn't there though.
Mel wasn't there?
No.
It was somebody else. I think it's, people that we met at Queen City.
Yeah, everyone from Queen City was there, and then some more people I know, they came through. Some people from out of town came through, so it was cool.
That's hell yeah.
It was cool. I went to Hooters. I cosplayed Hooters girl.
Hooters Denji.
As Denji from Chainsaw Man.
That's really fun.
It was so cold.
Yeah.
I literally did not warm up until like the next day.
Hoes don't get cold.
Dude, I did.
Hoes don't get cold.
I was freezing.
It's a Cardi B line. Hoes don't get cold.
Yeah.
Dude, it was the wind. Actually, it would have been fine if the wind wasn't like blowing.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was super fucking windy. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But other than that, it was fine.
That's cool.
Good thing. The last cosplay was Ryan Gosling's from not Cyberpunk, Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, yeah.
And he has this huge coat, and I'm like, thank God I get to wear a coat today.
Big little park.
And I'm not gonna freeze off.
Hell yeah, that's good.
So yeah,
I'm
that's
glad you had a good time.
pretty much what I was up to. I watched Skinamarink.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Thought it was good.
So I told the story. I said in the Discord that I was going to tell the story, and I'll be very like quick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Skinamarink, I will tell you that it's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely an art house film. But I had the craziest experience I ever had in a movie theater with a horror movie with that movie. Yeah. So I'll just run through it. If you've seen Skinamarink, this story will make a little bit more sense. If you haven't seen it, it may not sound so impactful, but once you see it, if you do see it, you can watch it all the way to the end. This story is crazy. So I went and watched it, and the way the movie plays out, it deprives you of like sense, like sight, and then audio, hearing, and then all that stuff. And then the way the movie plays out is like this kind of stuff just kind of starts disappearing and everything.
Yeah.
And I won't spoil the movie, which there's not really too much to spoil because it's kind of like...
It's an experimental film.
Yeah,
it's like borderline experimental.
Very art housey. But the way the movie ends, it ends really creepily, and it plays all the credits at the beginning of the film, so there's no credits afterward. Mm-hmm. So the movie just says, it just goes to the end, and then it just goes to black.
Yeah.
And then it's the way the movie kind of like does his mental thing with you. It's like you don't know if it's really over or not.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there in the dark, and the premise, first off, the theater I went to, it was only playing in one theater here in Charlotte, and I was like, there's nowhere else to play. There's only playing at one time, and it's literally the last day you could go see it. When I got to this theater, I've only been to this theater once. It's actually where we went and watched Power Rangers back in 2017.
Fuck, what theaters was that?
It's
an AMC.
It's an AMC.
The Carolina Pavilion AMC.
Yeah, and it's in a very cracked out place. A lot of like,
it's not cracked.
It's kind of cracked out.
You are the man. Out of everyone that I know, you are the most gentrified motherfucker.
No. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby? So I'm just watching it, and it's kind of like this tiny little theater. So watch the whole film and everything, and
you got like 30 seconds to finish the story.
Yeah. So the movie ends, right? It goes to screen goes to black, and then I'm kind of like, was that it? Like, is there some? I feel like something else is gonna happen because the lights never came on. The lights in the theater never came on. It just stayed completely dark. And then I start looking around, and then I notice no one else is here. Yeah. The movie, I think everyone left before the movie was over. Yeah. But the way the movie is, like, it
just cuts to black.
You had to see the movie.
Yeah.
But it was just creepy because I'm like, I looked around, I'm like, where did everyone go?
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, why are the lights aren't coming on? I'm like, is the movie not over? And then I'm like, what is happening?
Went into the Silent Hill 2 world.
And dude, I got up and I just slowly walked my way out.
I mean, it's not a Marvel movie.
I know, but like the way that movie is, that was so fucking creepy.
Yeah,
because nothing ever came back on, and I'm like,
there's something about the power of movies. Like whenever you leave the theater, you feel like you're in that universe for a little bit of time. Like you feel like you're the main character.
I used to do that when you're a kid.
Yeah.
You monologuing in your head.
I am the main character of my own story now. But if you see the movie, you'll know why that was so creepy to me.
Yeah, I have to go see it. I have to watch it.
But I left the theater and I was like, that was the craziest experience, and that will never happen to anyone else again.
I haven't been to the theaters yet this year.
Yeah, me neither.
I want to see.
No, actually, I saw Puss in Boots.
I want to see that, but
It's
Twitter
so-
won't leave me the fuck alone with that fucking movie.
Puss in Boots is very good.
Looks awesome.
It's
animated.
same thing with TikTok. They keep posting.
They
it.
do the I
Can't
started
have
marking
shit
them not
anymore.
interested.
Huh?
I keep marking them not interested every time I go into like.
I guess
As soon as
good.
something come out, people just spoil you with that.
It's also available in digital to like stream it if you don't want to
what?
like go. I don't know. I think
I
Disney
don't mind
Plus.
doing that. No, it's DreamWorks. Someone else.
But it must be on Hulu or something. Somewhere. It's somewhere. It's
definitely
available.
do
Maybe Peacock.
Ugh.
Tay, what have you been up to?
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Playing some games. I've been in a gaming mood lately.
What you been playing?
Klonoa. I've been playing that.
Oh shit! I remember Klonoa.
Yeah, I played a remix. Not
Yeah.
a platinum. It's an easy platinum. Playing Sackboy. I got like maybe
Did you get a Callisto Protocol yet?
no interest.
I thought you were gonna get it.
No, he only said that the
it's
only
short.
attention to him was the fact that it was like 10 hours long.
Yeah, or 6 hours.
Yeah, it was 10. It was 10.
True story. I was playing the COD campaign like
Yeah.
a few weeks back. Played like 10 minutes of it. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not doing a campaign for this.
It is good though.
so goddamn cliche and shit. I just
It is pretty much every like
Yeah.
like Michael Bay movie that you've ever seen.
Ghost. Let's go. That's fucking stupid.
Quite the opposite.
Yeah.
I did see some Ghost cosplays. Those are nice. And then they
That's
had
a
the
thing
caddy.
now?
Yeah.
Good Lord, we're
People-
old.
Because the memes, dude.
Yeah, because
That's crazy, right?
I saw. Yeah, they call him Baby Girl now because he was flirting with Soap in the campaign.
You got to play the campaign.
I gotta play the campaign.
You got to play the campaign to get that joke, man.
That would never go by back in the day.
People were so pissed about it, and it's so much fun because people were just like, Soap and him are having an exchange, and he's like, "Are you ugly under that mask?"
I've seen the clips.
Yeah.
Quite the opposite.
Quite
mate.
the opposite. And it's just like people just made fun of him. He's like twirling his legs when he's saying that.
Yeah, they kept showing like the little like blushing in there.
It's fucking great.
I've been seeing a lot of those on TikTok.
Yeah, they're
and then
great.
I saw one guy do one, and I'm like, yeah, that's nice.
Oh, I'm back in the gym now. I feel
Oh yeah,
amazing right now.
Yeah, you guys have made me want to fucking go back.
Please come back.
Yeah,
We need.
I'm broke as shit
I
right
need
now,
a
but-
group because I need
Shut
to.
the fuck up.
What?
I said this first. I need a gym partner badly.
Yeah, yeah,
I get
both
so
of it.
long.
Hey,
in
I've
the
been
gym.
saying this, dude.
We got
Because
different time schedules.
I know, dude. It
That's
sucks.
the problem.
Because you got to strong arm someone off the fucking bench presses. You have to go in a group of people because you just stand there with a group and then they just get scared and they run off.
Why don't you just go like, hey man, you mind if I use that?
I do that sometimes. I'm like, hey, can I just jump in here with you? But then I have a phobia about like putting my sweat.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to get a rash from someone on the thing.
Oh, is that a thing that can
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah, if they don't wipe off the machine, you can get a rash.
People in
from
the gym, really not. Gym area is probably one of the most like positive areas to be in. People are really nice in the gym.
Yeah.
They're in
Yeah,
their
they
own
do.
space. You need something, they do it. Some people like assholes like to take up like the fucking guy took 3 machines the other day.
Yeah.
I see him the other day too.
That's like when they like bring over like 15 other they bring over a bunch of dumbbells and shit and they just have it next to. I'm like, dude, fuck off. Like that could like someone. There's only 2 sets here.
Yeah.
Someone might need that set. Like, do not just bog
Grab
hog
what
it.
you need.
And
then-
I've been biting my because I noticed it lately. It's the New Year, New Me people.
It's
Because they don't have the gym etiquette yet.
Yeah.
They haven't
And
developed the gym
They
etiquette.
stay for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything saying I want to be that guy, but I get it now. They're very fucking accurate.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
But this is not what this podcast is about. Brian, what are you doing?
I've been learning Blender. And
You've been doing a lot of donuts, man.
I've been doing modeling too.
I
finished
did.
what I had to do, the commission.
Oh, that's awesome. How'd it come out?
Great, he loves it.
Fuck yeah. I made 2 donuts. I made like the tutorial donut, and then I made my own donut.
I saw the history of it.
Yeah.
On the YouTube channel.
It's fucking cool. You saw
Yeah.
the 16 parts. It's fucking great. Blender's a lot of fun. And then I like just started like getting assets and I started like putting them in a scene and practicing lighting.
You're talking about like switching careers and everything. You're like, man,
It's so much fun.
A lot of
It's a lot of fun.
Sonic fan gamers, the 3 Sonic fan games use Blender a lot.
Yeah, Blender is fucking killer.
It's free, right?
I went to a party and I was
Open
talking
source
to
too.
I was talking to a guy and he was like, I was told him I did 3. I went to school for like 3D modeling. Like, oh, you use Blender? I'm like, no.
It's mine.
One of my coworkers, her daughter is into the shit I told her to, and I gave her like literally every information I knew from school and all that shit. What I learned to that fucking girl. So
That's awesome.
hopefully she learned something.
Dude, it's a cool like if you're using Maya and like you like Maya and you're used to it, great piece of software. Except when it crashes. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
she said I was telling her like because I'm familiar with Maya, so I brought up Maya. I told her it was pricey, but I didn't remember. Like, oh shit, Blender is a thing.
Yeah.
Tell her daughter to download Blender and learn from there.
Blender is almost the same as Maya, except for me, it looks a little bit more intuitive. And like the render engine is the same as Arnold, just a little bit like I think slower than Arnold. It's fucking great. I've been having a great time.
Who's behind Blender? What's the
It's open source. I'm not sure who the creator is, but he made it and then he posted it for free and then he gave the source away. So the source code is open for everybody to like add add-ons and do shit like that.
I never seen like like movies or games mention like, is Blender the Twister logo?
It's the little O with the little heads.
Yeah, I never seen a Blender in like an industry like produce.
I think that it's not a 3D. Yeah, I don't think it's a standard industry standard.
Yeah, it's not a standard.
No, it's like more of a user.
Yeah, but it's becoming an industry standard because a lot of people are learning Blender, and a lot of people do motion graphics and commercial work on Blender.
Oh, you can do it on Blender?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's not unlike Hollywood movies, because Hollywood movies that they have the whole industry standard.
I mean, they're using Houdini and all those.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
So, but if you're a freelancer that you're doing like 3D motion graphics to do Blender, like Blender is an amazing software.
Because I told her later, like Blender is a great way for like yourself, like starter 3D modelers, and you can learn that. It can be the same controls, but you can learn the knowledge of it.
Yeah, the theory of 3D modeling, and wrapping. I'm at the point where I'm learning smart UV on wrapping. That's really fun.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
Oh, look at Brian.
Yeah, I know. He knows what UV
First time I ever
is.
saying UV.
It's the first time I understand what
There's
UV
some
language of the gods.
Someone's listening to this right now. Like, I have no idea what the fuck is
like,
UV.
yeah, what the fuck they're saying.
That's one thing I love about 3D modeling, because something like no one knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it is. You do feel a little lifted.
Like,
You're like
something I own.
For the first time ever, I watched because I went pretty hard on it for like 2 weeks, and for the first time ever, I watched a video of someone just explaining how they do. I think it was procedural materials in Blender, and I was just like, holy shit, I understood everything he said. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That was a great moment. I love that moment.
I remember I explained this one. I explained how video games work to Evans at school, and he was like, what the hell? He was like, you sound like you know what you're talking about.
I never forget when we first did our first Maya class, and Strong showed me the interface of Maya. Scared the living shit out of me.
It's super intimidating.
Yeah, I got hella
It does, yeah. He will scare the dick off, dude.
But it's like second nature to me now.
All right, Brian, what else have you been doing?
I just playing a shit ton of Call of Duty with Libby.
I need to pop back on the ground.
We need to hop back in.
I would love to, dude. Let's do it. We need to go play some more. I've been playing a lot of Warzone. Yeah. Before I was playing a lot of Warzone. I was getting pretty good at it.
Warzone's pretty fun. I want to play DMZ again.
DMZ is so fun.
I haven't touched none of those modes yet.
They're so good.
I've also been playing Team
I don't want to play
Deathmatch
a
and
random
Personal Rescue.
Play with me, Ron.
Yeah, do it.
Discord is on PlayStation now, so.
Oh yeah, dude! I need to go. I've been waiting for this forever. Yeah, we should, dude. Let's all link up. Let's go play some COD.
Time is running out. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there, finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard,
maybe that's what Mother wanted.
we do not know what Mother wanted.
Well, I recognize that dour expression anywhere. Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
You mean Tyr, the old god of war in these lands, who is dead?
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there, we gotta find him.
Come in. What in all yarns be the happened to him?
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do that is war?
War is not the only way.
Talking about God of War Ragnarok, baby. It took me fucking 3 months after release to be able to finish it.
It's funny.
I hope it's not too late for y'all. Like,
No, well, Tay just released a review, which, by the way, go check it out.
You encouraged me though, and I was trying to get inspired from the YouTube short style reviews. What we're trying to do. But no, it's funny because I was writing the script. It's literally one night I wrote the fucking script thing, and I'm not sure if you text me after I published it or before, but it's funny we were doing it at the exact same time. Like you were writing that.
Oh yeah, I tested it. Yeah, like at 1 a.m. in the morning.
I was like editing it.
It was
so it was funny timing.
Yeah, so God of War Ragnarok, it came out at the tail end of last year, right?
November 8th?
November 9th. November 9th.
9th.
And it took me a long time to get around to it because I was like, I lost my job and I just didn't have the time to do it. And I got Gamefly and finally, like, I beat it in like a month.
Gamefly still open.
Still open. Gamefly still in business.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Some kids might not even know what Gamefly is.
Yeah, throw us a sponsorship, Gamefly. I'll vouch for you.
Explain Gamefly real quick.
It's like,
Come on.
It's like when Netflix, it's just game. You know what it is. You rent a game, you play it, you send them back.
It's
That's
old
it.
Netflix before Netflix became what it is.
Yeah. It's Netflix with games.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty fun. And so I wanted to, we haven't really talked about God of War. You guys have, because you guys played it around the same time. But I was completely excluded from all of those conversations because of spoilers.
Yeah. This is, by the way, a spoiler cast.
Yeah, spoiler cast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, do you want to like kind of gradually do it, or do you just want to go full unload right
If you don't
now?
want to get spoiled, just stop
Spoil.
watching.
Yeah, just don't watch.
Spoils of war. Zeus, I've come to spoil the game. Kratos, you can't spoil the game.
So the first thing that I will say about God of War is that I think it's one of my favorite. God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, I think, are my top 2 favorite games of all time.
Oh shit!
Like they
really?
are so good to me.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like a few games that are like outside of that, like Final Fantasy VII will always be like a favorite game. But I think in the last 10 years, there's been no better games than God of War and God of War Ragnarok. I think that The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2 came really close, but I just think that God of War just really nailed into like a specific like character-driven storytelling and like a game format that just fucking scratches my brain.
I will put it like Last of Us 2 is a fantastic looking game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'll
I
have
think
to-
God of War is more fun.
I think so.
Last of Us 2.
God
Yeah,
of
I
War
think
is
so
more,
too.
I would say more fun, but like the mechanics in Last of Us 2 is probably some of the best mechanics I've ever played in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that is like the gold standard right
Welcome to the
there.
workbench, and it's like
Well, it's just just to feel the running, the tripping, and
Yeah.
it's like just everything you could do in that game. I was like, the story, you can say what you want to about the
Yeah.
story, but the mechanics in that game is so crucial. I mean, mechanics for a game is like the most crucial heart of a game.
Yeah.
It's just how you play it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like miraculous. It's crazy good.
I'm noticing lately PlayStation games are becoming. We're going to talk more of this about God of War, but they're becoming more technical than ever.
yeah.
And I'm assuming Spider-Man 2 is going to be the exact same way too.
When you say
Spider-Man,
technical, what do you mean? Like
like-
just little details?
That and just so much shit to do for just one character.
Yeah, that like you have a prefla of like skills and mechanics
Yeah.
that you can kind of mold into how you want to play.
Because we're all playing the same game, but I doubt that any of us played the game
Exactly.
even
So-
remotely similarly.
yeah.
That's
So
a good
okay.
thing.
So how did you cycle through all your weapons and everything like that?
So I was mostly, I felt like the game to me was telling me to use the Blades of Chaos way more than using any other weapon because they were quicker, they were good for managing groups of enemies, and the fire effect, just did
Burn
pretty
effect.
great. But then I started prioritizing the Blades of Chaos, and I was just like, man, I really missed the axe. And so then I started using the axe again, and then I realized it's like, oh, I can just use them together. And like I was getting the fire effect, and I was like switching, throwing the axe, getting like really big combo explosions. So like the first maybe like 25% of the game, I was like really focusing on one weapon, and then I was just like,
As you play more, you start to diverse your set of weapons.
you start diversifying, and then like the game forces you to diversify because it adds in enemy encounters that only get hurt by a specific type of weapon.
I like that.
And it adds enemy encounters that are like, you need to keep some of them at a distance, but you need to get close to some of them.
about to say that, yeah.
So like you're really juggling your whole arsenal of weapons. By the time that you get the spear, the last weapon in the game, you're fucking juggling them.
You already
bitches.
mastered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fucking throwing a spear, hitting somebody with an axe, throwing a whip of fire, doing the.
I used the
slashing
spear
people.
for zoning enemies and all that shit.
Yeah, I would have like the way I would go with it was like you start with a spear, you can go long distance. I love this one move where you could throw up the spear
Just come
and it
down.
rains down. I'm like, this is anime as hell. Like it's a rain down a bunch of spears
I
on
love the
them.
tornado one. That's my favorite one.
The
tornado one.
oh yeah, okay,
The
yeah.
tornadoes are on the stage.
Throw the spear and then I would chuck a couple of, and once they got a little bit closer, then we hit when they're mid range. I then I'd switch over to my Blades of Chaos, and then I would use the little what's the little things called? With the little it's like R1 and
The
then
chakram.
the little two things that you had, those special moves.
Yeah.
You use all those up and then you switch over when they get real close to the axe and you start chopping down on them and everything. So I'd like to cycle through like that. I would have I would like to set it up in like waves of how I would hit enemies.
Yeah.
And then once you use up those runes,
You cycle back to the
you
first
cycle back
weapon.
to the other one because it's already loaded up again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's how I was doing too.
Dude, there were some encounters in that game, and we'll talk about the narrative in a second. But
Fucking
they were
werewolves.
They were, dude, fucking
Pain in the
werewolves.
ass, yeah.
There were some encounters in that game that legitimately.
you would rip those things would beat the piss out of you at the end of the game.
There was like there were encounters and fights where like I died 6 times in a row, and I only won them because I got fucking furious and I just started like aggressively like hitting them with shit.
Yeah.
Not even planning. It's like a real Spartan rage.
There was a point where like the werewolves, after you redeem Freya or whatever,
Yeah.
as a werewolf on the right side of you going forward, and it's like he kicked my ass like he's 5 times. Like, no, fuck this. I'm continuing the story because it's taking too damn long.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
The game's actually harder than the 2018 title. In my
It's
opinion.
it's way more difficult. And like the camera and mechanically, I think that the game fixed a lot of the issues that I had with 2018. Namely, like the camera in 2018 was a little too close, so it was like hard to see enemies in like a big circle radius. The camera's pulled back now. Enemies were like a little too aggressive from the back. Every enemy now is kind of like much more aggressive towards the front of you, and the camera. It fixed everything that I thought could be better in the original God of War 2018. And then just made the combat super engaging, super fun to like watch and play. And then like when you pull off a big fucking combo and you just like slam down those blades of chaos and like just evaporate an enemy.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Oh, so good.
It was a legitimately like there's not a whole lot of games that I like sit down and play anymore and then like don't want to stop playing. And like God of War was one that I like could not stop playing.
Yeah, plus it's his story too, and the game has a lot of. I haven't finished it yet. It has a lot of post game content too.
Yeah, like a whole nother game's worth of content at the back of it, and I guess that's because like when they delayed it, they just had time to keep working on more stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a whole nother game.
Was it this
after you
game?
finish
It was done a year ago. But
It was supposed to release like
I have a theory that it's
something
it's
about
more or
like
less a theory.
2019 or something.
It was going to release with the PlayStation 5. I think it
Yeah.
was going to be a PS5 exclusive on the first launch, like the first few months of the launch cycle of the PS5. And then the PS5 started running into shortages and like you couldn't find PS5s. And I think that's why they pushed it so they could then port it back to PS4.
No, I think I mean like in terms of like because it's still a PS4 game.
Yeah.
It is.
But I think that's what the delay was about. I think it was going to be meant to push PS5 sales, but then they couldn't buy PS5s. And I think that's where the delay came in.
Yeah, but I remember like the game. I think it's this game where it had been done. They just spent the last year just
Polishing.
tweaking it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't encountered any bug issues with the game at all or anything.
I only ran into 2 bugs, and they were AI placement bugs.
AI placement bugs.
Yeah, just like the AI went crazy, and like my targeting system broke. That's it.
I had I think a couple crashes, but that's about it. Like maybe 2 out of the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games where like the narrative like really speaks for itself. What do you think about the narrative?
I love it. Like I said in my review, like this game just it expands on everything great about the 2018 game, even its story.
Yeah,
I love despite the game being long, I kind of want the third act of the game to be a little bit longer.
I agree.
Because when Ragnarok starts, like the whole war, you're literally just running through it,
Yes.
fighting enemies and shit. And I'm like, okay,
I kinda
didn't
had
hate it, but it's like there's a lot of build up to this moment, and you kind of just running through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the same issue where I'm like, I wish the fight would have been a little bit more epic and it wasn't a little bit more closed off.
Yeah,
And I wish it would have lasted, exactly, a lot longer.
yeah.
Wish there would have been like some mini bosses in there or something.
But it's probably what it needed.
A couple mini bosses in there, like you do waves
like
and
2
enemy.
giants or something. Like,
Right, yeah.
something.
Oh, it'd be cool if you could have had like all the old enemies come back up and shit, or like maybe a couple Valkyries or something come through and you had to smash them in.
Oh yeah, you fought Valkyries. When
Oh, you did? Yeah, you
gonna
did.
make Ragnarok.
Oh, that fucking boss is fantastic. The
yeah,
twins?
that's a good
That's a-
boss fight.
Dude,
Let me
that shit
say,
was awful.
that is the most beautiful level
Yeah,
I've
it
ever played in
is.
a video
Oh, yeah.
game.
It
It was
is.
crazy
Oh my
good.
god.
Like
And I was playing it
space
on
in hell.
PS4. I can't imagine how it looked on PS5.
Did it? Because I was playing 60 frames. I didn't play normal mode. How'd you play it?
60 frames.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's the only way to. I think that's the only way to play any game.
Yes.
I think that should just come default. And if you want to do pretty mode,
I switched and like, oh god, get this away from me.
It's like-
Does it
It really-
go back to 30?
yeah,
that's the thing. Is like it's like you going back to 30, and then it's like a higher, or it's a
Higher fidelity.
high fidelity, but it doesn't look as good as like 60, and it's
Yeah.
just it's
better
frame rate is
animations.
ever since we went to Strong's house at one time and his TV, we're like, why does your TV look so good? And he was like, I just have high refresh rate. We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Refresher and frame rates are different things though.
I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I love it. I think what I love the most about and I have a whole bunch of notes here, but Crocker, what did you think about like the narrative for God of War?
I liked it a lot. I thought this was like, it kind of almost seemed like something new-ish to me because just Kratos was almost changed from the last game, and you could see he was making real progress through this game a lot earlier than what you would think.
Character here from the last game,
right? Yeah. He was really trying, and I was like, oh, he's really trying to like hold back. He's trying to be a good father to. And then they kind of just had to loop back a little bit from like the first game. He kind of fell into like some of the old habits he had, which I mean that was I guess needed for it.
Yeah, it's like right after he met the Fates, he's like starts going back a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of rewound, but he was like, then he continued to push forward, and it was really, really nice to see someone so vicious as Kratos kind of change a new leaf and then try to be a better person for his son.
Yeah, you're seeing him like, I like going back to the old games and the cutscenes from the PS2, PS3 games, and look at him now, it's like night and day.
Yeah, it's a completely different character.
And it's crazy because that history is still there.
Yeah.
And so this makes it even cooler.
And I like that you see that character change, but they don't throw it away. Because like there are moments in even Ragnarok where like they reference shit that he did back in the day.
He threatened Odin, like, you want to see the other way of me?
Are you calm and a reasonable man?
I liked one of my favorite moments of that referencing is like he's talking to Freya, I think, and he's talking about the captain that he killed 3 times in the God of War movies.
It's actually a joke in the games.
Yeah. Because, but he talks about it in this game like he's mournful because he like prevented that guy from going to the afterlife. Yeah. Like he just killed him.
He
dead.
drops from the cliff.
Yeah,
I remember that guy. Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that like Santa Monica has like kept the old stuff and like try not to distance themselves about it, but use it as like stepping stones.
They made it in a sense where you don't have to play him, but you still got enough information to like.
Yeah, I never played any of the old games, and I got a lot of the references and stuff.
It just like if you play him, it just adds on to his character more.
Which I think was amazing. I think that as far as like sequels, like when I think of a great sequel, almost a perfect, I would say God of War Ragnarok is like a perfect sequel.
That's my title for the review.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's a perfect sequel.
It is a perfect sequel because not only does it improve on everything that the last game did previously, it does it without adding like unnecessary like grandiosity or like epicness. It's just like it feels like you stopped playing God of War 2018. And then, like, you launched it in, and then God of War Ragnarok picks up right where 2018
That's what. Well, Corey said that. Corey Barlog, he was in an interview. He was saying that like we have to stop writing 2018 because we're writing the sequel right now. Yeah, so they were already pretty much into that story. So that's why it feels literally just like a part 1 and a part 2, not really like a sequel.
They had a story in mind since we fucking played the 2018 game. It's already been there. They just didn't make the game yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So like 2018 could have been like.
Could have been like a 50 hours longer.
Well, it could have been like they could have put Ragnarok into 2018 and just had it one game.
It was originally DLC, but they're like, it's going to be too big. So
and it doesn't feel like that at all.
No. Yeah. So when I saw those comments previously when the game's coming out, like, you guys are so fucking wrong.
Yeah.
The game is so much better than the 2018. Just
you want a good example of that? Saints Row 4 was fucking DLC that they turned into a full game.
The one with the angel wings?
Like a bad one, yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's how you do it poorly.
Yeah.
If you want a good example.
With Gay Tony.
No, Gay Tony could have been its own game too.
You think so? Yeah. I mean, it
Ballad of
Gay
Tony. Well, Ballad of Gay Tony was a DLC that was so good that it should have been.
It's an expansion. Ballad of Gay Tony is an expansion.
Expansion, yeah.
DLC expansion and it's two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that
I don't know. How do you download a expansion?
Expansion still it's
downloadable content, but it's the quantity of the content is significantly different.
It's like between $20 and $40.
Yeah, it's like if you add more than 10 hours, I consider that an expansion.
Yeah.
It's just how they price point. It's like is this DLC $20 or $40? Because you're buying like half of a game.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think that like
nice smack there.
Being the perfect sequel, I was worried that at first it was gonna like fall short.
A lot of people did
because people was like, okay, well, how are they gonna pull off like that transfer? I was worried that the people were gonna consider it a less than stellar sequel because it didn't go grandiose. It didn't go like super epic. It didn't go like bigger.
It did.
Yeah,
by far.
It did it in a very subtle way. It did it at the end of the game, but like the character journeys and everything that was happening, like characters weren't reduced to a cartoon of what they were in 2018, which is, I think, is like a really important thing for a sequel. Like in The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2, some of the, like Ellie, The Last of Us 2 is a really great game and I really like Ellie's story, but Ellie became kind of like a cartoon of like the spiteful, like vengeful character that she was in Part 1. And so like every character just kind of fell way too deep into like their own trauma ball in The Last of Us Part 2. In God of War Ragnarok, I get the feeling that these characters are making choices to be better.
Yeah.
They are developing. They are learning from what happened in their previous games. And that's something that sequels often overlook because they want the sequel to be bigger. So the characters make decisions that force the circumstances of the game to be bigger.
They felt real.
Yeah.
I always said that in my review, they felt human.
Yeah, they do. And I wrote that. Yeah, I wrote that in. It's like,
you wrote it too?
Among all the among all the godliness, like once you take away the fantastical element, God of War Ragnarok is one of the most human stories that I've seen in gaming in recent years.
I love, I'm going to go deep into that too, but the supporting characters are like, what the fuck? They did a really good job to support it. Which I wasn't expecting that at all, but it was great to see that, like Sindri and Brock. And you know, since we're talking about spoilers, I didn't like Tyr at first. I thought it would be a wasted potential in this game at first. Until that twist.
Dude, that shit had me fucking...
I felt so robbed. I was like, I'm like, this raped me in a way. It's like
so betrayed.
So betrayed. You really have like a thick sense of betrayal.
It was a visceral reaction for me.
Before that twist, I was like, Tyr's not hitting me right now. Like, I don't like this character.
Yeah, I was.
He doesn't like doing anything.
Right. Is it just being annoying?
Yeah, and he tried to be a voice of reason, but it came off as annoyance too, though.
Yeah.
He's not sucking Superman. Shut up. Stop it. But
he's not one.
No. But it was just odd. Like it felt like, why we got this guy for? He didn't really add much to the story for the time. He just saying shit,
just
and
sat there.
Procrastinated a little bit with Kratos and Atreus and all that shit. And it's like, okay, till the twist happened. It's like, all right, I was wrong.
That twist.
Did you go back and look at some clips of the cutscenes?
Yeah.
What Tyr says, you can catch on. Like he calls Freya Frigg.
Yeah.
And she says like,
no one's called me that since Odin.
Yeah. And so it's like, holy shit.
But you only assume that because, like, you know, Tyr is like an old god.
Old god, yeah.
Same with Atreus. Like, he calls him Loki every single time.
Bro, what are you calling him that for?
You know damn well his name is Atreus.
When Brock was like, you don't even have any shit here. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. He's making too much sense.
It's spear and shield.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
We know this as well. Like he didn't bring any weapons. So like, what the fuck you talking about? You're like, this ain't right.
Dude, that character death legitimately left me like super heartfelt. Like that was like, a lot of times games kill characters off just to kill them, to like give motivation to the characters. But that was like the one character death that I felt like motivated the rest of the game.
That didn't affect me. What affected me most was what happened to Sindri.
Yeah,
that's harder for me.
But I think when I say character death, I just mean like the death and then like everything that happens as a result of it.
Sindri is heartbroken, dude. Like, that sucks.
And he already went over to the river to like the light in Affelheim. To like rescue him one time. So now Brock doesn't even have an afterlife.
Yeah,
it's rough. Yeah. That shit was super sad. And like the fact that Sindri let himself get dirty. Yeah. After like, and actually, I have a note here.
He doesn't wear gloves anymore and all that.
Doesn't wear gloves, yeah. And like the way that he took Odin's soul and just fucking smashed it.
And you know what's funny?
No, wait. When Sindri was like, when he told Kratos and Atreus when they went to his like where he was working, and he's like, "And get the fuck out of my house." Yeah. I was like, "Oh my god, dude! I feel like I just lost my friend."
And you know what I like about it the most? It just ends like, no. We're not cool anymore.
Yeah,
that's it.
We're done.
Oh, dude, that tore. I still feel like I'm longing. I'm like, I got to finish the rest of the after game because I'm like, no, there's got to be more. Like I have to.
Because a lot of stories always get, oh, we forgive you on that shit. No.
Yeah, Cinder's like, go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself. Like, fuck, that sucks. He was like cool friends with the Atreus and all that shit.
Mm-hmm. And like that was it was.
And they were. Go ahead. And then they built up so much shit too because they had that whole thing with Atreus. You're running around Sindri and when you're doing Atreus' level, and you're having banner back and forth. You can tell they're like the really close friends. Yeah. And then, dude, when he's just like, "Get the fuck out of my house," I was like,
God, this is a fucking video game too, by the way.
I was feeling him.
So fucking good. This is the best story I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, I think the only story comparable, like I said, is The Last of Us 2.
I mean, in movies and comics.
Oh, yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like, this is fucking.
It's incredible. It's incredible. God of War, the narrative is so fucking spectacular. And I the thing that I like about it, and I'm going to read it right off of here, is like, it's generally a franchise that doesn't set out to be like a grander than life story, despite all the godliness involved. All of these characters are human, dealing with the consequences of their choices or the familial trauma that came about from the choices that they're connected to.
It feels grounded.
It feels grounded in reality.
You can see like a lot of that with like Odin and Freya, just like choices and
Love her. She's awesome.
just
Yeah,
like the
Freya's fucking
choices that we made, and then the choices that you are going to choose to make.
And then like the whole, and again, it's like a pretty classical archetype. It's like a character defying fate, because Loki is like the agent of change. He's like the god of change. And I feel like they really exemplify that in God of War Ragnarok.
Like elements here and there, but I don't think they go full-fledged with it.
They don't go full-fledged with it, but I think that Loki, whatever happened to... Because the entire prophecy got kind of shifted thanks to Loki. Like, they didn't make a full-fledged Ragnarok. Kratos didn't die the way that he was supposed to die. And so, like, Loki is, like, very subtly changing the way that history is playing out. And I think that is going to lead to a much more impactful, like, once they diverge the game into, like, its own Loki game or whatever, I think that's going to matter a lot. But I like the fact that... So
you think they're going to make a whole game with him?
Yeah.
The way they set it up, when, like... And this is, like, my favorite line in the game, and this is when I knew that...
the ending is so good, dude.
That Kratos had completely changed as a character, is when he says, Loki departs, Atreus stays here.
God.
Dude,
so fucking good, dude.
So good. And then like right before that, and then there's so many really great moments because like the game, like you have this grander than the character story going with Ragnarok and the destruction of Asgard and everything like that. But the priority is always the characters. It's never the world. It's always what's going on with these 5 or 6 characters that you have. And so like even like you kill Heimdall, which, by the way, most satisfying death in any game. I fucking hated that little
Fuck
cunt.
his ass.
You know, that's I do have a weird hang up with that.
Yeah.
Because I really, really wish we could have came out of this where Kratos didn't kill anybody. That would have been...
I really wish too.
That would have been real change where he was like, this character is so hateable and I want him to die so badly. But Kratos is like, no.
But here's the thing. I think we got that because Kratos tried to not kill him.
Right.
Kratos gave him mercy. He let him walk. And then Heimdall, because of his own hubris, decided to still keep attacking. Yeah. And so at that point, Kratos is a reasonable character, and he was having genuine change up until that moment. But he's not so much attached to the chain in an unrealistic way that he's not going to kill Heimdall to protect himself.
No, that he snapped back to his senses after he was done.
Yeah.
I mean, he has control now.
I did like how like Atreus did forgive him though for that. He was like, okay.
Yeah, it was like it needed to happen. And I think that needed to happen because that death was the moment that Kratos decided he wasn't going to be the god killer anymore. Because he saw, like, even right after he's done strangling Heimdall, you see the regret in his eyes. And you see, like, how he feels the moment Mimir says, you shouldn't have done that, brother.
Or when Brock dies, Kratos is like, we're done.
Yeah.
I love that too. Like, we're going home.
Yeah.
Because, like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't his fight to begin with. And, like, the fact that he adopted the fight and continued after that moment, like, means a lot. Because it also means that he changed as a character. Because now he has people that he cares about.
I just don't want to forget this thought. Right after you kill Heimdall, and you're on that flying ship and you're flying away, and then that one dude with the big sword, right, falls down and stuff. Yeah. Did you guys go find him?
Sorry, again, say it. I don't.
There was a dude with a giant sword on the
dwarf.
The one.
Did anyone go find him?
No.
Did you?
There's a whole secret level with that.
That's awesome.
Where there's a dragon and everything, and I went to go find him for like this, like us doing a side mission thing. Whole secret little fucking level in there.
The trophy.
Is that
and you wouldn't even know it's there.
I was like, side quest where you follow the pig.
No, it's when Freya's brothers, his guys, dies.
No, I know. But did you find them when you followed the pig, or is that another quest altogether?
No, that. No. You go out of your way to go to find his body or something.
Gotcha. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. There is a whole little level back there.
That's funny.
That if you go find him, and then it's like this crazy world. There's also something with time because there's also there's another lightning streak that's frozen over there, and you're like, and then Mimir's like, I feel like I've been here before.
Oh, I see.
You guys gotta go. If you don't, you gotta go check it out because I was like, when I found it, I'm like. No one would know this was here. This is a complete side mission, and it's a whole nother level.
But that's what I love about this game. It's like how big it is without you even knowing how big it is.
Also, like
I'm really happy you guys didn't find it because now it's like it is an actual secret level.
Speaking of time,
touch your microphone up there.
It's right here. Yeah. Speaking of time, so Angry Boda and Atreus did create what's the snake's name?
The world serpent.
The world serpent.
Yeah, they did create. It was that little fucking snake.
Yeah,
and they got bigger over time.
But did he make a new serpent, or was it the same serpent?
If you look at a Thor boss fight, when you in Ragnarok and you see Thor fighting a snake, it's brief, but Thor hits it and it warps back into time.
Yeah, he knocked him back through time.
Shit, really?
Yeah, it just like plucks in time.
That's crazy.
So when Mira kind of catches on, he catches the time loop during I think after the post game, just treading in Midgard. He noticed it like, holy shit! He clicked on like that snake was the snake they were talking about before.
God damn,
that's what I figured.
He said like Atreus must have had an interaction with the snake prior
because in
actual they knew each other. Yeah, because they acted like they knew each other.
Yeah,
because in actual lore, Loki did birth him.
Yeah, but they did it different in this game. Like they gave a giant soul to a snake.
And then Fretnar too, the giant wolf, that was also a child of
Fenrir,
Loki. Fenrir, yeah. But that was actually supposed to. Which I'm not surprised they didn't, but that was actually supposed to kill Odin. It was supposed to eat him.
Oh, I remember. That's right. You did say that before. Yeah.
Dude, Fenrir, that was so fucking cute when they brought Fenrir back.
Yeah.
I was like, that first of all, that boss fight with
God, dude.
Griff or the green wolf, the Grim or whatever the fuck it was. Crazy ass good boss fight. That was like
the skill of it.
Amazing. Fucking blew me away.
You can tell he's a master from how far back he is. And like the skill is so.
But like when you were like right next to him, like his claw was the size of Kratos. It was fucking crazy. And it looked really good. Mechanically, it was like a super interesting fight. And then the reward for that is that you see little Fenrir come back. It's like a giant wolf. Amazing.
God, this game does so many payoffs really well, dude.
Yeah. And the thing that I want to keep harping on, because the narrative, like the game was played well, but the narrative is truly like where the game shines.
Yeah.
And I love that like every character goes through their own version of growth. And like every character does the same thing. And this is like a theory in like narrative making. It's like your supporting characters have to go through the same arc that your main character has to go through, but in different ways. So like Freya had to learn how to forgive and let go of her anger in order to like collaborate with Kratos and stop Odin.
Did you go to her wedding? It's a side mission, but her wedding mission.
Yeah,
I think I did it. Yeah, I think I did.
You get like a sword with it, but it's like her where she had a wedding at or whatever. Ceremony.
Yeah, I don't know that I didn't do it.
There was one guy on there where you had to find one of those dudes where it keeps them alive. And there's one guy I fought for 45 minutes straight because I could not find the thing keeping it alive.
Yeah.
It was driving me up a wall. I was like, where the fuck are you?
I ain't never played The Witcher 3, but people say the side missions are fantastic.
Yeah.
And people was comparing to God of War Ragnarok and like how these side missions are like really
side missions in Witcher 3 feel like main missions. Oh no,
so now
just like its own little thing.
About.
Yeah.
Because they have like their full arcs. Like the side missions have their full narrative arcs within them. It's awesome. I didn't do a whole lot of side missions since I wanted to get through the story.
I try to balance it out a bit.
Yeah, I tried to.
But yeah, those shut the fuck up. It's 12:30. Yeah. But yeah, those. What I love about it is that like every character goes through their own growth. So like Freya has to learn how to forgive. Atreus has to learn that he can be his own person. Even Sindri goes through like their own version of growth. Mimir has to go through his redemption arc where he has to forgive himself for what he did for Odin.
Did you guys play the well? Did you do the whole well thing?
I was doing some of his missions with like his lover or something. From
Yeah.
Sigrun.
Yeah.
Sigrun, I love that character, dude. Dude, when you got to him and he was like, he threw on the holy shit.
Sigrun, who was that again?
Sigrun was the Valkyrie that Mimir fell in love with.
No, Sigrun. The lava guy, with the.
Oh, Sotor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he opens up his chest.
He's the guy that does he's the fire giant.
Sotor,
yeah.
It was really funny. He just fucking flicks you away.
God,
like,
I love that.
Part of Norse mythology, he's like one of the oldest like beings.
Yeah, he's like the Titans in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Right. I do wish though when they was writing his character, they didn't make him so kind of like modern day. Kind of wish they would have kept him a little bit ancient. Just the way he talks, he's like primordial stuff. Like,
the way some of these characters talk, it doesn't fit in this world.
Yeah.
Like
Sometimes
Odin, Odin should be in like the Bronx.
Odin reminds me of like if you pick any movie from the 1990s to 2000s where like the character is like a half Jewish New Yorkan.
From The
That's
Wire.
exactly what Odin is.
I gotta edit that. Odin's
apparently, that character's from The West Wing. I've never watched The West Wing, but they said like people who's watched The West Wing, like they couldn't unsee him.
That's so funny.
Odin has this look that I've seen with real people before, and it fucking annoys the shit out of me. I've seen that look this character does.
Yeah.
He does like this look stare thing. And
Yeah.
like, I've seen this before, and it annoys the shit.
It's like the manipulator stare.
It's really well done how they animated him.
I think Odin is one. Odin. This is my favorite interpretation of Odin. And there's something that I like. It's like it's not a deconstruction, but it's like a
like like they respin him a little bit.
It's more of like a de-romanticization of villainy, of like evil characters.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
Odin doesn't have a really definitive description, does he? It's really vague, right?
They had the spirit of the character there because
No, I mean like
in
like real life, like we don't really know who.
No, he doesn't have a really. He's like he doesn't have a particularly physical description.
I think just an older man
That's
with
it,
big
right?
beard. I think that's like kind of like Odin.
But he isn't like, like Thor is known to be an asshole or something.
Yeah.
We don't really got much for Odin, right?
We don't really. No, I don't think so. At least not that I know of.
Odin is more. They did the character justice because Odin has a thirst, a quest for knowledge.
Yeah.
He's constantly trying to do something where he's gaining knowledge in some type of way.
In the original Norse mythology, that was Odin's quest. He just wanted to know more so that he could prevent.
So that
Ragnarok.
actually is a part of Odin's mythology.
Yeah. Because
Okay,
he's
got it.
going through that knowledge so he can
Okay.
prevent Ragnarok in the first place. Because
Okay.
they know that Ragnarok is like the end of Asgard.
Got you.
So what I was saying about the character growth is like because every character goes through their own arc, you can then see Kratos be influenced by them learning how to forgive or them learning how to like let go of the grief or the anger. And by the time that you're in Asgard storming the wall, you see Kratos as adapted and has learned all of that thing. Specifically in the moment where someone dies or like Odin is killing all the Midgardians.
Yeah, just kill him. Kratos like, the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah. And then like Atreus is like, no, close your heart to it. And Kratos like grabs him by the shoulder and goes like, no boy, open your heart to it. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Good Lord, it's such a great change for Kratos' character, dude.
Yeah.
I love him so much in this game.
it is it is just a phenomenal way of like
Okay, like, fuck those people. Literally, though, but it's like, it's nice to see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that Odin was like such a deconstruction of villainy all the way up until the very end.
I
Like
was-
a reinterpretation of villainy.
Yeah, he was like very likable.
Yeah.
like I kind of it started growing on me. I'm like, holy crap, this character is really well written.
So
Because
go ahead.
because you know it's coming. He's going to do something evil.
Yeah.
But you kind of really it starts growing on you a
It's
little
like the
bit.
same journey that Atreus went to. Like the first time Atreus went to Asgard, he was like kind of falling into Odin's spell.
Yeah.
Before we get deep into Odin, though, one of my other criticisms, though, and I kind of get why they do it, because they're telling you it ain't nothing to worry about. But I literally want to know what the hell Odin was looking for. That rift, that dimensional breach thing.
That was all knowledge.
But what the hell was in there?
It was just
the knowledge of everything.
the
I
knowledge
think.
of the universe. It was like how it was created, how to prevent Ragnarok. It was like literally the
That's some
knowledge of
cosmic
everything.
level shit there.
Yeah.
See, I really thought like all the giants were in there or something. He was gonna open it up and it wasn't really, or
didn't
there was some
think
kind of
that.
monster in there.
I think like a higher being or something. But the game literally tells you shit don't even matter. Make your
No,
own
it doesn't.
destiny and future. Whatever.
Make your own destiny,
Yeah.
write your own fate.
I got it, but I also want to know what the hell was in that.
Now you're Odin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting Loki to get the mask for you. It was I think Odin was really real win. How do you feel about Thor? I really like Thor.
I love Thor. I love Thor. They didn't use him as much as I wanted them to use him.
It was subtle.
There,
But
yeah,
where he
it
came,
was there.
he wasn't my favorite. I prefer Odin over Thor. But I do like how they made Thor more of a tragic character.
Yeah,
Because,
he just wanted Daddy's approval.
yeah, not only that, though, but you also killed his sons, too. He kind of like had a grudge about, not a grudge, but he kind of.
Now, hang on. Now we're gonna have to talk about because I know we keep skipping over it because we got to talk about what they did with the Thor and Kratos fight at the beginning.
Oh, that was
We
crazy.
have to talk about it,
That was crazy.
Dude.
dude.
First of all, great.
When I played that, I was playing it, right? Like, this is fucking cool. He kills you.
Yeah.
He breaks you up. I had to pause the fucking game. Like I said last week, they don't fucking miss. Oh my fuck. It was so fucking good.
Dude, I was playing, so I didn't know that happened because I legitimately
dude.
avoided the entirety of like spoilers.
Yeah,
Like, every time God of War
same.
came on TikTok, I would like skip past it. And I was doing
This
that
got
fight.
spoiled, by the way. No one saw this.
Really? Yeah.
Thank God.
Dude,
Fucking-
go ahead.
That moment was like, I'm getting my ass fucking handed to me. And I thought that I was okay. Well, like the game screen, like the same game over screen happens. Like, oh, it's supposed to be like a scripted loss. It's a weird choice for God of War, but then he was just like, I'm not done with you yet. And he fucking like defibrillates you. What the fuck was that?
It's so fucking
That
good,
is
bro.
such a good fourth wall break.
Yeah.
I literally I did the same thing that you did. I was like, I gotta stop for a second. I gotta
like,
process that. That was amazing.
After that happened, I had to go on Twitter and everyone is freaking out, they're posting their reactions to this shit.
Dude,
fucking awesome.
When
good.
I was doing okay in that fight, and then when he killed me, I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. Like I slowly like place my controller in my lap, waiting for. I'm like, I gotta wait for this stupid thing, and then I just hear in my headphones, it's like, I'm not done with it. I'm like, oh shit!
That's a level of hype of the game. And it's so fucking good. They did it so well though.
I was the one time in the game that they break the fourth wall. The one time. And they fucking nailed
I was
it.
fucking shell shocked. I was like,
I
what?
watched my PS. I forgot to turn it on, but my PS5 can let you set like hear your voice.
Yeah.
While you're playing the game.
Yeah.
But when the two Valkyrie fights and Kratos and did it and Trey did a combo, I'm like fucking like laughing like holy fucking shit. They posing and shit. God,
They're hitting like Power Rangers, dude. It was
I'm like, fuck, this is cool, dude.
Dude, it's such an awesome. God,
it's so
good.
fucking good.
And
dude.
then when fucking when they're fighting Odin, when they're fighting Odin, and it's Frey.
I love the edit on TikTok.
Yeah, dude, they were like hitting him with the fucking boom,
Fight back! Fight back!
and then like Atreus is jumping off of like Kratos' back, and he punches him right in the fucking face.
Let him get up. They beat the shit out of him.
Dude, I love a good gang fight.
Oh man.
Oh, dude, it was so fucking great.
But like even like the fucking the Hellwolf fight was like I just love the scale and the immersive of it. It was so fucking
That was a
good.
complaint from the first game that people are like, there was no big epic fights like that.
and
So-
they worked on it in this game a lot.
Yeah.
Especially what took me a surprise too, which I knew this creature was the Nighthawk. That was cool as shit.
It was a really cool fight.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I didn't expect to fight that thing there, but they brought it in the game. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
What I'm really excited about is for like whenever they do the Loki game, because he's going to like be working with giants
Please
and
go to
finding
Egypt.
giants. I would love to see like a Shadow of the Colossus take on Loki's thing.
I can see that.
Where he's like
That's
fighting
like
giants to like
great.
redeem them back or bring them back into
Yeah.
like their natural state.
Holy shit,
That'd be killer.
that's a great take on that.
Yeah.
I can see that too.
That would be killer.
I feel like he's gonna be like, if I had to make a wild guess for like what that game would be like if they do it, it'd be like him going to different continents and then fighting different gods and stuff like that, or fighting different type of enemies.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be something because like Loki's. I think it's gonna be something like that where he has to go to like the different realms and find all of the giant souls, the giant marbles,
Right.
to like bring back the giants to Ironwood. I think that's like what the ultimate goal for that would be.
I did wish Angry Boda went with him. That's what I thought they were gonna do.
Yeah.
But she just stays.
Just stay taking care of family.
But I think what they're gonna do though is it's gonna be a Miles Morales situation where he will have his own game.
yeah,
But we're not done with Kratos.
no, Kratos still has one more game in him.
He has plenty, honestly.
Yeah.
He's just a hero now.
Yeah,
But like, I think they're gonna do like a Miles, not in terms of like size, but like it's gonna focus on him first.
yeah,
But the main games will be Kratos,
Well-
and he's gonna come back to like how Spider-Man 2 is gonna be both the characters.
yeah.
They're gonna do with God
That'd
of
be a
War,
cool way to handle it.
When Corey was handing off the game to the pardon
Eric?
me, yeah, him when he was, there was three things that had to happen. Was Atreus has to leave, Brock has to die because that's the family dog, and you have to kill the family dog,
Nah, they call him the dog.
and then
Narratively.
narratively, like that is like because you have a
see,
fun soft part, so but they have to take that away from you, and then Ragnarok has to happen.
Yeah.
So he needed for Atreus to leave.
Yeah. And so like that's well that's really the great character moment for Kratos is realizing that in order for his son to be happy and for him to have a good relationship with his son, he has to trust him.
God, that was hard too.
Yeah.
dude. Jesus.
He has to, and that has been Kratos' journey since God of War 2018 is learning how to trust Atreus.
We can grow, yeah.
Because Kratos didn't trust himself to be a good dad, so he couldn't trust his kid to be a good son. But now Kratos has learned what it means to be a good father, and so he knows that Atreus can now handle whatever he needs to handle without him there. And that's the character choice that I think redefined Kratos as like an angry dude into a stoic but emotionally supportive father. Into what I think is single-handedly the single best representation of positive masculinity in gaming ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Kratos went from the most toxic, vile piece of shit to the most amazing interpretation of positive masculinity that's available in media right now.
The scene where the one you mentioned before, where they after they finish the Hell Wolf or whatever, and just sitting down.
That was the part I texted you. I'm like, there's a part coming up that's gonna kind of make you cry.
Yeah,
I knew it. I was like, this is gonna break to you right
Even
here.
the first 15 minutes of just.
I teared up.
I don't get personal with it, but it's so fucking spot on.
Yeah.
The first 15 minutes.
Was there any point in the game where you guys cried?
That apology moment, because I related a lot to Atreus of having all of these expectations put on you, and having to work by like the edges of people's perception and having them not trust you. And then like when Kratos sat down and acknowledged that, part of me felt like it was talking to me. I was like, I'm fuck. You know, like,
again, they feel human, and like the fact that I'm relating to these gods and stuff, like holy shit, the fuck.
Yeah,
it's really good though. But like that moment, and especially the ending where, what do you say? With Loki and Atreus,
it was like Loki was saying, "I gotta go get the giants," and Kratos goes like, "I know." Yeah, and it's like Atreus stays, Loki departs. Yeah, and it was just like such a caveman way of saying it, but also such a like a cute acknowledgement of knowing like the person that I know as my son will always be a part of me. But you have to go be your own person now.
He looks behind the mural too. He actually sees like, holy shit, people. When Odin said, you don't know what it's like being praised by immortals or some shit. But at the end, he's not being praised as a god, but like, oh, he was a fucking hero. People love and respect this guy.
God, that was...
And that moment there was like, Kratos finally came to fruition there. Yeah. He saw that like, he's not this angry god anymore.
No, he's a hero.
You could see it. You could see in his face. I was gripping my pillow. I was like, yeah, he was like, he was being praised as a god finally.
That's what he wanted the most. Like,
not feared as God, but praised as a god.
But the interesting thing is that like, Kratos started his journey as a general of an army and ended his journey as the general of an army. But it was like the positive version of that versus a negative version of being a general in Sparta.
Like a warmonger, dude.
Like a warmonger. He's like, I'm fighting for the greater good here, and I'm making decisions that'll help save lives.
Ares! Give me your power.
And that's what I think was like, the fact that happened to Kratos, and you just made me realize that because I didn't even register that they praised him as a hero. But like, having that praise from the people that he's not viewed as a monster or a menace.
That whole part at the end where they're like, he was like, I'm not going to be the general. Like, I'm not going to do this. And then everyone was like, they had all the people just looking at him like General Kratos and General. And they were looking to him as for leadership. And I'm like, oh, damn, dude.
This game is really fun.
The game is... God of War Ragnarok, I think, was like the most over the last like 10 years. I think it's like you said with movies and games. I think it's one of the most top tier storytelling that I've ever experienced.
Well, also that because like that's why on the side topic, but that's why I haven't watched the Last of Us TV show yet. Yeah, and I don't have an urgency to because it's like I know it's an adaptation. Yeah. But I think what I love about the Last of Us games because I'm actually playing those games and growing with these characters I'm playing. Playing it gives it a little extra spice to it.
It elevates it a little bit.
That's what I feel about the God of War.
You get a real connection to it when you're playing it.
So that's how that's why I think what helps it the most. Why it makes it like more. Say they're gonna make a God of War TV show. Yeah. And I'm like, nah.
I don't feel we need it.
That's how I feel about the Last of Us TV show.
I watched like the first like 30-40 minutes of it. It's kind of like it is literally the game. Yeah. And it does. I know exactly what you mean when it's like I don't feel like super connected.
I watched the entire first episode. It's an hour and a half pilot for the Last of Us TV show, and it's like
I'm not discrediting it. I heard it's fantastic.
It's the game with extra steps. It's what it is. Yeah. It's just like they have to add in scenes to make it work in a TV show.
That's what Neil Druckmann said.
I'm a little impatient about it. Is kind of like what my last. And I think I'll feel the same way about a God of War TV show. Because like you have to justify so much narrative. And then like you can't make a whole new story. But if you remake the game, then like kind of like what's the point? Yeah.
For people, that's going to watch it.
But if you make a whole new story, then you're kind of fucking up all the narrative progression that's been happening in that story already. So it's like a lose-lose when you make an adaptation like that.
I'm not a big Walking Dead fan at all.
Yeah.
But I played the Walking Dead Season 1 game. That game gave me more attachment compared to anything Walking Dead offered me.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a level of like being indirect. I think interactive media makes it more better for me.
Yeah.
That's why I like pitted such a high standard. Like
I think so
I
too.
don't think a lot of movies, and from what I've seen, I'm not consuming a lot of media like you guys still, but like it's just still one of the best stories I
agree.
experienced in a very rare.
I've watched a lot of things over the last ever since God of War Ragnarok came out. I've watched a lot of movies and I've watched a lot of TV shows, and I think that it is
like I'm constantly thinking about it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I need to watch The Northman. I think it's on HBO.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I heard it's good.
But yeah, I personally think that God of War Ragnarok is a perfect sequel.
Yeah,
I think it does everything it needs to do. It does it extremely well. It does it extremely efficiently. And even though like the game, some people had some pacing issues, like it dragged on a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a lot of people had a problem with Ironwood.
Yeah,
I still don't understand.
I don't understand either, because for me that was all moments where I was spending time growing with Atreus.
Yeah,
I was like learning about Atreus
and her as well. Like that's it.
So
I think it was needed.
Yeah,
I think Ironwood did run a little long. I think the part before that where you go find Freya, I think that was a little executed a little bit better for him, because then you got like time with him and Sindri and everything. I didn't hate Ironwood. I did feel like I did hear people talk about where the game kind of has like a part at the end where it kind of drags, and I'm like, oh, this is the part that we're talking about.
Grandmother.
I liked it. I liked it. It's crazy because I get it. I get why they would say that. But I loved all that time that I spent with Atreus.
My one hang up about playing with Atreus was, and this is just me personally, was just like I felt like I was kind of wasting, XP in my time with it, because I'm like, I'm not going to use this when I'm doing a boss fight as Kratos.
What do you mean?
Like I can upgrade Atreus as my partner, but I'm not like going to be fighting Odin as Atreus.
Right.
So I was like, I'm getting XP and I'm doing all this for kind of like nothing.
Well, the counter argument to that, which I also understand what you're saying, but the counter argument to that is that the game is balanced for the character that you're playing as.
And then I'm almost like, the game would have been better off if that we just played as Kratos straight through.
No. I think Atreus was needed.
I think that I think the segments with Atreus were like a really, because you have an A story and a B story, and then you have the convergence of A and B at the end. I think that the game would have significantly suffered narratively if we didn't get to play as Atreus.
I get where you're coming from, the Atreus bit. If they probably gave you an option to choose who you want to play instead of the storytelling to choose, I think you won't feel it as like less needed or not a waste of time. I guess that's probably what you mean.
Yeah, I
wish that you could have earned XP. I wish if this was the case.
I think you did get a little XP for Kratos when you did his missions too. I mean, like I think it would kind of give it like just for your time for spending it. And I just felt I'm not really going to be using him. And then I'm like, if they kill Kratos off and then I play his Atreus for the rest of the game, that's fine.
Yeah.
If they do another game with Atreus in it, I think they will have to have Atreus accept the fact that Kratos will die.
You want more like a GTA 5 kind of type of deal? Like switch
they can switch between the two characters?
No, because then I didn't like that either. Because then I'm like, I'm having a fucking. I don't want to have to just put it all in one person, and then I don't like having it like mixed up like that. And that's like I said, like that's kind of like just a me thing. I wasn't vibing with it, but
it was about what, maybe 60% Kratos, 40% Atreus.
Yeah, I would say it like that. I think that for every 10 hours that you spend with Kratos, you spend like 2 or 3 with Atreus.
Yeah.
Which I get it. You needed it for the story plot and everything like that. And they had to have some type of combat with him.
I was actually shocked how good it is.
It's good. No, don't get me wrong.
When you turn into the wolf?
Yeah. That's kind of finicky though.
Yeah.
When he turns to it's a rune ability. He turns to
the deer?
Yeah, it does not feel good.
He doesn't oh yeah, no, I hate that. I hate the summoning.
Yeah,
the summoning runics are annoying.
The one with all the crows is
that sounds
badass. I did like that one a lot. Yeah. But that's not, you're not turning anything.
When he turns to the deer thing, it does not feel good.
I love turning into the wolf, and I love the story moment where he can finally control the bear transformation.
That's his
and
anger.
He's fighting with Kratos as the bear, because that to me is a reflection of what Kratos had to do. Kratos had to control his anger to be who he was, and then we have Atreus doing it a little bit easier than Kratos, because he had the guidance of Kratos and then just turning into a wolf and just fucking.
Would it be fucked up if Kratos killed Atreus with the boss fight? They fight each other.
Yeah, that would have been great. That would have been fucked up.
Would have cut his head off and then it's like Atreus is laying there. Fuck. Oh fuck. Freya.
So while we know like little details where like they did the part, Yeah. We know what he's going to do, find his giants. What do you see the future of the franchise like?
I think I see...
Wait. Before we get into that, can we just go back a little bit? Just like, I just want to talk about gameplay just a little bit longer because the gameplay is really good. Did you guys have any, like, what was your experiences with, like, fighting, like, hard characters and then boss characters and stuff like that? How'd you guys feel about the bosses? How'd you feel about the was it the Viking guys? I forget their names.
The H guys.
Yeah, there's like 2 different versions.
They're basically Valkyries of the
Yes, and then there's another set of those guys where there's one guy that they drag swords, and they have very specific ways you can't attack them with range attacks.
Because the Travelers were in the first game, they were like a big boss in the first game, but like a normal character here.
So this game, in terms of overall, when I die, it felt like my fault.
Yeah.
Instead of
like you wasn't adequate. You're like, I could have been better with that.
Yeah, because like especially I forgot what do you call the break? Is it the breakers? The sub bosses of this game. They're optional.
The Berserkers.
Berserkers.
Yeah. So like, I didn't do the Valkyries in the original game because they were pain in the ass.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I did one Valkyrie and it took me 4 hours.
Fuck that. Actually, people said this game is harder than the Valkyries. I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? The Berserkers are here easier than me, but I did 2 of them.
Yeah.
And you look at the combat, like they have a pattern and all that shit. You can still beat them, but it's what I mean about like not having good timing with their attacks.
Sometimes I did feel like I got cheated a little bit with some of those guys.
You did.
Like sometimes I'm like, I'm pretty sure I was doing good. Yeah. Well, the one frustrating thing is like you start learning their combo attacks and then you're like, okay, I'm doing it. And they're almost dead. And then they fucking cheese you.
Spamming.
Yeah. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Like this is.
I had a big coincidence when to spam.
I never had that problem with them. Every time the boss fights, I had a relatively decent time. I think the most that I died in the more that I died in like a boss or like an optional boss fight was 3 times. And I only died more than that if I was like severely under level for the fight. And so like I was like, they had a purple health bar. And I was just like, okay, I'm not winning this fucking fight. That's like the only time that I died and I felt like I just couldn't handle the fight. But every other time, the most that I died was when there were more than like 3 enemies on screen.
Talking about the what is the power source called?
The Bifrost?
Bifrost enemies?
No. So in God of War, like green bars means that your level, your XP is more than like they would be.
Oh.
Your orange bar means that you're equal. A red bar means that they're 1 level above you. And purple
I never
means,
realized that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
And purple means that they're like 2 or 3 more levels above you.
I never encountered. Yeah. Well, because you're progressing faster than what you.
Well, because I'm a fucking psychopath and I don't do side missions.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what you were doing, wasn't it? Yeah.
So I was getting my ass whooped by like at some point in the game, if you don't get enough experience, optional boss fights, the side mission boss fights are too difficult.
I've seen green and red, but never purple. Holy shit!
Because you're just too under level for that fight. And so like the Berserkers were those for me. Like the Berserkers would beat my ass because I didn't have the health capacity to like take their damages. Yeah. So like 1 hit would take me 1/3 of the bar down, and they have like a 3-hit combo. And so like that was the only times where like I died because when I felt like it wasn't my fault, and even then it was my fault because I didn't progress through the game kind of the way that the developers intended me to. I was like just bomb rushing.
One thing I do is a nitpick, and a lot of games do this, not just God of War Ragnarok. It's like I hate when games give me armor. Yeah. It's one that looks really cool. And I want to wear that armor, but I got to wear this stronger, less looking cool armor.
Right.
That's also part of why I died a lot, because I refuse to wear armor. I will wear a weaker armor if it looks cooler.
It looks cool. Cause my armor, my go-to armor was the one with like a blue padding. That's the one. But I wanted to change it because I'm so sick of seeing this fucking armor. I didn't get the red armor.
I wish they would have done something like where you can equip a certain type of armor,
but the stats,
but have the stats of a different one underneath it.
That'd be fucking cool.
Like have a cosmetic armor and then a real armor.
Yeah, I would love that they did that. And people, one of the people I agree with, it's minor though, but people was kind of mad that the box cover or the introduction created to the campfire.
I wanted that.
Armor.
Wait, yes. Where that wasn't.
That might come in
that armor
DLC.
Is at the very end. You do get the armor. You just don't get the cape with it.
I want the cape.
The cape.
It says harder.
I get it. I wanted the cape too. I wanted the cape. That is the
you get armor, though?
that is the last armor you get before the Ragnarok fight.
No, that's not
and it's called Fate Breaker.
Yeah,
which I love.
Breaker.
I love.
It's the armor that you get from Lunda,
and it's like the classic. Temple. It's a classic armor from the first game, but it's all nice.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the war armor. The red armor?
The red armor is the Fate Breaker. It's the one that you get to, you know how in the last stretch of the game, like Freya.
She gets armor.
They get all red armor. You get that version of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. You need to talk to Lunda to get it.
No, I have it.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize it was the original armor.
It's a cover
like
art.
It's just the strap that he has on his shoulders. And
Yeah, it goes. It
Holy
just
shit.
covers here.
So
and
it's a
then
cape that's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
much.
that's the only thing. And the reason that they probably didn't have the cape is because you need to have
Yeah, this is really hard to animate. They need to put in a new game.
But damn, I really wanted that fucking cave. I was like, I
raw
need.
as fuck.
I know, dude. I was like, damn, I need that shit.
Maybe that blind directs that shit. But
when we got it at the end, I'm like, they can't fit the cape in because of the fucking weapons.
Because of the weapons.
I get it. Yeah. The ring will work. But
Yeah, I fucking love it.
They could have had the weapons like over it or something.
it will look tacky.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it, dude. It's not fair. It ain't fair.
But no, like compared to the original, we speaking like gameplay. But like I said in my review, like literally everything the game offers you in terms of combat and enhancements and all that stuff, that shit matters.
Yeah.
It changed your game. Like we said, we all had different experiences. Like for a moment, I was using the time thing, which I didn't really care
The
for.
realm shift.
Yeah, but I was using the what do you call them?
The runes.
No, the other option, R1 and
The
You
relics.
said it earlier.
The relics.
There's so many. There's so much stuff.
the
to
one.
add
Well,
in.
what's the button that uses time shift thing?
It was a relic. So it's like after you kill Heimdall, you get the R10. They're called
R10.
relics. Yeah.
So I was using the one that throws that little blast thing
Yeah.
that come out. That's the ones I was using. Shit like 3 things. It keeps my distance.
Yeah.
Or like how the game. You had to find like there's some abilities in this game. Like I looked at the post game, like some things I didn't get yet.
Yeah.
Different rune attacks. Like what the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
I think there's rune attacks that are like
They're like
post game that are really strong. Like
They're
there's
gold
one where you
chest.
hold Amir's head and he shoots a big beam out.
I
of
have that one.
fine.
Yeah, that one's cool
I
as
didn't
fuck.
know that one
Yeah,
existed.
he shoots Bifrost at his eyes.
Yeah,
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's not. It just stuns him a bit.
Yeah.
it's not as cool, but it's cool. There's other stuff like that.
Can I say before we wrap up the show and like give our final verdict and go to 4, like Mimir, one of the best companion characters.
Yes. Oh my
ever.
god, dude.
The uncle of the game.
The uncle of the game.
Yeah.
It was, I think Atreus.
Yeah, he said something at the end of it.
He says something. I think to Kratos. He goes like, "You really do love him like a brother, don't you?"
Yeah, Kratos calls him a brother in the game.
Yeah. It's so fucking cute.
I like the moment him and Atreus have a moment at the end of the game where Atreus was talking to Mimir and was like, I think he said, "I love you" or some shit.
Yeah. Kratos. Atreus goes, "I love you, Mimir," and he goes, "I love you too, little lad."
Yeah.
I fucking God.
It's
I
been
love
together for
Mimir.
5 years, but just this head.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best supporting characters. I said this before in the 2018 game. It still is one of the best supporting characters.
You can sit there and listen to them talk all
Yes.
day.
I will
And they
listen to
find
audiobook
ways
again.
to make him interesting,
Very
despite
interesting.
being just a head.
He's just exposition.
Yeah.
Literally he is.
And
It's fucking fantastic.
They justify it within the lore because
Yeah,
they're
they
like,
do.
"Oh yeah, he's just a dude that knows everything."
Yeah.
And it's just like fucking.
And you know
sick.
what's funny? It's not powered either. Like,
No.
I understand it's weird, but it's like he doesn't tell you how to do everything.
Yeah, he just knows information.
He knows information.
But you gotta ask him shit.
In
Yeah.
the actual lore, he's actually the reason why Odin has no eye.
Yeah.
Because Mimir told him you have to take your eye out and put it in the well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's the actual lore. I think I forget the.
Oh yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Like in this game, he just looks through the crack of knowledge and like it burns his eye
Yeah,
out.
Yeah.
I liked how I knew a little bit of knowledge, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're gonna enforce that. They're not gonna enforce this.
Yeah, I was looking for some stuff you said and when we had that. The 2018 review, right? We were talking about. And there was some stuff here and there. But I was looking for more of like Loki's change aspect of it.
He was like the god of change for everybody
Yeah.
though,
'Cause I
because he
knew-
was going by and changing everyone's kind of outlook at a lot of stuff.
He's the catalyst for everyone's growth in the game. He's the only reason. Like he's the reason why Freya forgives Kratos. He's the reason why Sindri goes fucked up. He's the reason. He's everybody's reason for character development.
Yeah.
He's like, gotta
Dude,
change.
Kratos and Angry Bros are cute as shit together.
Yeah, they are.
I love it.
They are.
Oh, what about the other one? I like them.
I hate her hair.
Who,
Thor's daughter.
Thrud.
Thrud. Yeah.
Her hair pisses me off.
Sif. Sif was a baddie.
She didn't do anything.
And she wasn't.
You know who
she
that
didn't
was?
Need to do anything.
You know who that freaking
Yeah,
was?
who?
Yeah.
The woman from I think I might be wrong, but I think it was the girl from Daredevil.
No,
that I
that's
hate.
That's Kratos' wife.
Yeah,
That's Faye.
Faye.
Oh,
When I was playing it, like I know her.
I know her face. Yeah.
Hey, you know
yeah.
what?
I was like, who is that?
Speaking of Faye, we still don't know
Who is
much about
Sif?
Faye.
No, we don't know. We don't know anything about it.
She just gone.
She's just gone, which is
okay.
fine. I think she did her
Doesn't
character
matter.
purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sif was a fucking baddie and a half.
She looked
that was a-
accurate to her Norse mythology design.
Yeah,
too,
she's pretty
actually.
fucking sick. Thrud was pretty cool
No,
character
it's
too.
Freya. Not because she's a great character, but
Yeah.
Freya.
Thor's character development to me, and we can do a whole nother thing and like just talking about just the supporting cast.
Yeah.
Because this game is so good, but Thor was a really good character too. I really liked what they did with him. Sucks that he died. When he died, I was like, well, maybe we can use Mjolnir. But we didn't get to use Mjolnir.
So those are my expectations.
That was me too.
And like, I'm glad because I think Eric said it's too predictable.
Yeah.
That's the
Everyone was saying that, like, oh, he's gonna get the thing. Because I was looking at the fucking. You play the game. There's like light coming out some level design of the game. Like some lights popping out. I'm like, what the hell is that for?
Yeah.
I was always gonna be the Thor's hammer or whatever.
Oh,
No,
it's
it's
a
a
spear.
fucking spear.
Yeah. Which I'm saying I like the spear a lot.
At first, I was like,
Yeah.
it didn't feel right, but now I understand its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Pretty sick.
probably my least favorite, but I don't hate it.
I actually used it a lot towards the end.
Yeah, I had to.
I liked
You had to, yeah.
No, but I chose it a lot versus like some of the other fights.
Emily Rose, that's her name.
Emily Rose.
Emilos is who voiced Sif.
Nice. Yeah.
That
so
movie scared me as a kid, scarred me.
What's that?
Go up.
Which
What
one?
is
Movie
this?
scarred
The
hell out of me.
Exorcist?
Emily Rose. Yeah.
Interesting.
We terrified him.
Wait, she has the same name?
Yeah, that's
guess.
like Emily Rose.
What the fuck? That's weird.
Okay.
That's
We got to end the show.
story.
Yeah. Is there anything?
No,
all
I
right.
think I
Anything?
covered everything that I wanted to say about the game.
Favorite thing? Anything you didn't like? There is one thing I didn't like about the game.
No, there's nothing I didn't like.
I didn't like so many puzzles. I thought there was too many puzzles.
Oh, I love the puzzles.
Think.
No, dude, there was too many
Talk
puzzles.
about the whales in the water, you got to freeze it and all that shit.
Dude, I did a lot of side missions and everything. And I'm like, I'm doing so many goddamn.
Every time that
Puzzles,
I got stuck
dude.
in one puzzle, it was entirely my
It wasn't like the puzzles were bad.
Yeah.
It was just there was just too many.
You just want to deal with it.
I was like, I just want to bash dudes' faces in.
Yeah, that's funny. I loved it. I thought it was fun.
I didn't bother. I said mine. Like, I wish Ragnarok was a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I say? Oh, the nitpick about the costume.
Yeah. I didn't have anything significantly that I think I would change for the
No.
game. I like the pacing.
I love the game. Yeah.
I like all the character moments. I like everything.
The
about
skill
the game.
tree was kind of like a little overwhelming at first. It took me a long time to get used
I wish
to it.
the one thing that I do wish is that I wish like the complicated moves were a little bit easier to understand how to use them.
I did like. Well, it's nice though because then you can kind of like you could if you really wanted to do some sick combos and you really wanted to put the time in like a fighting
You can do
game,
it,
you
yeah.
could do all those.
They're all the same combos with different animations.
There's like different combo finishers, but I wish like moves like throwing the axe when you dodge and like doing some kind of like special attack where you add another finisher. I wish that instead of like being like combo inputs, they were like
Oh, you could just hit
delayed
square,
inputs.
square, and then
Like, just, like,
triangle or
delayed.
something.
When I was playing the game throughout, literally from start,
Yeah.
there was a combo from the 2018 game that I wanted back so much.
Yeah.
Because you know when Kratos in 2018 game, he does a combo and the axe spins
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yeah.
I wanted that back so bad.
It was pretty good.
But they took it out. He has different movesets here.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
That was my only nitpick is I just wish I understood the combo system a little bit better. But you don't need to understand it till I get through the game.
That and then I wish they never the fucking Amir thing where you're like, you're on fire. You're on fire. When you're on
yeah.
my god, that was annoying.
Yeah, isn't it? You're on fire.
When you're fighting like the lava dudes, like that, like and then the ground, and you like go over there and you do something, and they come out and you start fighting them. Anytime you catch on fire, there's always an audio. So either Atreus or Mimir is like, "You're on fire," and it was like, "Oh, this is very apparent that they're gonna keep saying this."
Careful, brother, you're on fire.
Yeah, it's like they could have cut that out a
Or the
little
fucking
bit.
poison plant things.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're poison. Those were kind of annoying, but those are just small nitpicks. I just wanted to see what
Yeah, over the grand scheme of things, that is like the only negative thing that you can say about a game.
Yeah.
It's a fucking masterpiece, isn't it?
I will say though that I didn't have like that emotional impact like I did in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first game, I truly felt like I had a son and I was trying to protect it. I really did. I was like,
Under the swag of a black teen.
I was,
This one's like, I truly have a son in this game.
yeah, I was like, holy shit! Like I have this small child, my small child I have to protect.
That's so
And
funny.
when I felt like, and I was like, and maybe it's just because it's the first game, but when I was slamming my axe down someone's throat and I was really like nailing into him, I felt like I'm like, and but this game I was like, I was a lot more like combo heavy and I was like switching through and stuff. I think the combat is like more fluid, but I thought
it
the
wasn't
combat
as animation centric.
yeah, I thought the combat in 2018 just felt real, more grit. But that's me. Overall, though, game is amazing. Couldn't have asked for a better experience really with it, and I really need to go back and finish the post game stuff.
For me, it's a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt about it. I think it's a phenomenal game. amazing experience, amazing narrative, and like I feel like in an era where everybody's trying to be like subversive and like clever with their writing, God of War just picks a story and just goes through it, and it's good.
What about that? It justifies itself in a lot of fucking ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just a good game.
Yeah,
and it's a single player game. Single player matters, dude. Like
it does.
It's
Sony's
funny,
killing
like,
it with that.
Huh?
Sony's killing it with the single players.
But like, I noticed this when I was playing Batman Arkham City back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really clicked me. Like, I really, really love single player games because I always had the best experience here.
Yeah,
and that trend continues with God of War Ragnarok. And like, just love that shit. Being in my own space, play with some fucking headphones, just like
play with it. Yeah, definitely play with headphones.
Don't play it on TV. Don't.
Yeah,
put headphones on. You're in that world, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Get the wind blowing and all that shit.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Final thoughts?
Yeah, it's
Play
a
it.
masterpiece of a game.
Yeah, play it.
Worth all my time and money. Like I love when I buy something and it's really worth it.
Yeah.
This game does that.
Absolutely. How about you?
Yeah, dude, I couldn't have been happier with it. I thought I was like, I am God of War.
If you haven't played it, you should totally play it. It's a phenomenal game. That being said, we're wrapping up today's show. We will see you next week.
We appreciate you guys coming down, hanging out with us.
Yeah, I appreciate coming down, hanging out, talking about some God
messages.
of War.
Yeah, hit us up on Discord, hit us up on Twitter, message us. See what I want to know what you guys thought about God of War. Did you hate it? Did you love it?
If you haven't played it, do you have any interest in playing it? Just let us know in the comments what your thoughts are.
People are literally do hate this game. I'm like,
that's weird.
Fucking stupid.
I want to understand why though.
Crazy.
If there's any other games you guys want us to like talk about, let us know in the comments or anything like that.
What's coming out? Forspoken.
Forspoken seems pretty.
Hogwarts Legacy seems like it's getting some steam.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Fucking J.K. Rowling.
This game's gonna sell like hotcakes.
This game is gonna sell. Yeah.
Half of the sales are gonna be like just transphobes that want to like prove.
No, there are people that's doing that. The buying out the spite. I've seen comments.
That's funny.
I have no interest in Harry Potter.
Me neither.
I never.
You want to know a fun fact about the game? You're literally the gameplay. The story is that you are putting down a slave rebellion.
Yeah, I heard this.
In the game.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we'll see you next week. We'll see you next week. Check us out on Twitter, Discord, Instagram, the whole bit, and see you later. Bye.
Bye.